They greet you with a hello, they dance in your garden, they fight like warriors, and sometimes, they even try to outsmart humans. But what if I told you that in one of the busiest cities of the world, parrots are not just surviving, they are ruling? This is not the story of ordinary birds. This is the story of fearless rebels with wings who have turned a modern city into their kingdom. And once you see what they can do, you won't look at parrots the same way again. In the world of birds, few creatures captivate human imagination the way parrots do. Known for their intelligence, vibrant personalities, and the ability to mimic human speech, they are among the most remarkable companions nature has given us. But among all parrot species scattered across the globe, one group stands out like no other. These are not merely pets or forest dwellers. They are bold, fearless, and astonishingly smart parrots who live side by side with humans in one of the busiest cities on Earth. They do not just survive here, they thrive, turning themselves into the true winged citizens of the city. The story of these parrots is not one of mere survival, but of charisma, humor, and adaptability. They greet strangers with a cheerful hello, they never forget to make their presence known, and they carry a personality so striking that you cannot help but wonder, what makes them so different, and why do they rule the hearts of everyone who meets them? Imagine a city glowing with millions of lights, skyscrapers illuminated, streets buzzing with life, and people celebrating one of the largest festivals of light in the world. It is the month of May, and the excitement carries through June. This is Sydney during its iconic Vivid Festival. Tourists from across the world gather to witness a dazzling display of colors and artistry. But as the crowd admires the glittering skyline, something else quietly steals the spotlight. Just beyond the festival grounds, with wings spread wide, another performer takes the stage. Only this time, the performers are feathered, uninvited, and endlessly charming. And just when the lights of the festival fade into the night, the real show begins, carried out by the most unlikely yet captivating entertainers of Sydney. They don't need invitations, and yet they appear on your balcony as though they own the place. They are the sulphur-crested cockatoos, about 2 feet tall, crowned with a brilliant yellow crest that rises like a banner whenever they're excited. Their eyes sparkle with mischief, and their personalities are bold enough to make them the true heroes of the city. With no fear of humans, these cockatoos land right outside your windows, greeting you with a casual hello, as if to remind you that they are here and that this is their territory too. Their presence is not just about friendliness. It's a daily declaration that they belong here as much as you do. But if you think they are polite guests who simply come to say hello, wait until you see what happens when their playful nature turns into mischief, for that is when the real drama begins. What begins with a cheerful greeting often ends with chaos. These parrots are infamous for their antics. They march into gardens as though they were designed for them, targeting shoes left unattended, gnawing at them with unstoppable determination. A cameraman hoping to capture their beauty might soon discover that his camera is the next object of attack, pecked and pulled at until the parrots are satisfied. Alone, they may be amusing, but in groups, they transform into noisy troublemakers. A handful of cockatoos are manageable, but when dozens gather together, their chatter drowns out every other sound in the city. Laughter, shouts, horns, nothing competes with their piercing calls. And if someone happens to be caught in the middle of their group, the parrots waste no time turning humans into unwilling participants of their games. Shoes are ripped, bags tugged, and patience tested. It seems entertaining at first, but then you realize these parrots don't know when to stop. Yet their antics are only the beginning, because Sydney doesn't always stay calm and sunny. Sometimes the skies darken, thunder rumbles, and storms strike. And when they do, the parrots face a challenge far greater than stolen shoes or torn cameras. What happens when the skies open and rain pours with thunderous force? The same cockatoos that rule gardens and balconies must suddenly find shelter. As lightning cracks and the harbor bridge glimmers under the stormy sky, the parrots rush for cover. Where do they go? To rooftops and balconies once again, huddling in numbers to stay dry. Some even attempt the funniest tricks, like trying to use umbrellas lying around, but they don't quite understand how to open them. Watching them fumble, you might laugh, but for the birds, the storm is serious business. While they wait for the skies to clear, far away from the city, their wild cousins face an even tougher test. Because in the forests, the battle isn't against rain, it's against predators. And one of the most feared of all has just caught their attention. Away from the concrete world lies a different tale. In the wilderness, the cockatoos live a cautious life. They are not bold or fearless here. Instead, they are careful, alert to every movement around them. At the faintest sign of danger, they take flight. Predators are everywhere, and one of the most dangerous of them all is the monitor lizard. Large, strong, and patient, the lizard is a predator capable of raiding nests. For a cockatoo, spotting one means sounding the alarm, screaming loudly while spreading wings wide to appear bigger, in a desperate attempt to drive the intruder away. In these moments, the same playful bird of the city becomes a defender, fighting not for mischief but for survival. Their daily life is equally challenging. Building nests is a task that requires precision and unity. Males and females carefully inspect tree hollows, testing strength and height, deciding if it is safe for their future chicks. Only when both agree does the nest become a home. And yet, this isn't the only variety of cockatoo in Australia. Because while the sulphur-crested are bold and noisy, there are others who win hearts in a different way, through sheer beauty. If beauty had feathers, it would wear pink. The Major Mitchell's cockatoo, also known as the pink cockatoo, is elegance in flight. With its delicate pink plumage and striking crest, it looks like a painting come alive. Unlike their sulphur-crested relatives, they are less curious about humans and prefer to stay away, but their rarity makes them even more enchanting. Watching a pair of these pink cockatoos against the backdrop of the dry Australian landscape is like witnessing a secret treasure. They may not greet humans in balconies or tear apart shoes, but their presence is a reminder that parrots come in many shades of charm. But among these pink wonders, there is another group who carries their own unique skills, not in singing or talking, but in digging deep into the ground to unearth secrets hidden beneath. Not all parrots sing, some prefer to dig. The corellas, including the long-billed and bare-eyed species, have mastered the art of using their strong beaks not just for food, but for excavation. With long curved beaks, they dig into the soil, searching for tender roots to feast on. Social by nature, they groom one another, strengthening bonds as they perch together in trees. When they pair up, the connection between male and female becomes almost unbreakable. Watching them interact is like watching a love story unfold in feathers. But just when you think parrots have shown you every shade of beauty and intelligence, the story takes a dramatic turn. Because now enters a parrot so vibrant, so colorful, it looks as though a rainbow itself decided to take flight. When the sky needs colors, these parrots rise like flying rainbows. Meet the rainbow lorikeets, perhaps the most visually stunning parrots of Australia. Their heads shimmer in deep blue, their chests burn bright orange, their wings shine green, their bellies flash yellow, and their beaks glow in red. Together, these colors make them living rainbows darting across the skies. They may be smaller in size than cockatoos, but do not underestimate them. Lorikeets are bold, lively, and often mischievous in their own right. They visit balconies in search of food, sip nectar from flowers with their specially designed tongues, and perform comical dances, shaking their heads in what looks like a rhythmic performance. But life is not easy for them, because in the presence of larger cockatoos, these smaller birds often find themselves bullied. The cockatoos spread their wings to intimidate them, sometimes even grabbing and tossing them aside. Yet, when lorikeets are angry, they fear no one, not even a group of cockatoos. They fight back, their courage far larger than their bodies. In their defiance, they prove that size is not everything. But their battles with cockatoos are only one part of their challenge. For them, living in a human-dominated city brings its own trials, ones they must face every single day. What happens when wild instincts meet human hospitality? The parrots of Sydney have found a way to merge both worlds. They no longer rely solely on forests. Instead, they have adapted to human spaces. Balconies provide them not just food, but also water, sometimes even cups they can hold in their claws to drink from. They raid dustbins, learning to open lids to find leftovers, sometimes even pulling out entire slices of pizza. Scientists, fascinated by their intelligence, have tagged them with yellow wing markers, giving them names and numbers to track their movements. Through research, they discovered that these parrots are not just surviving in the city, they are thriving, breeding within it, and increasing in numbers every year. Their ability to adapt to the challenges of modern life has turned them into one of the greatest examples of coexistence between humans and wildlife. And so, in the heart of Sydney, humans and parrots share more than just space. They share a story, a bond, and a future intertwined with one another. And that is the real magic of Sydney. When people think of the city, they picture the Opera House, the Harbour Bridge, and the dazzling Festival of Lights. But those who live here know that there is another spectacle, one not built by human hands. It is in the calls of cockatoos greeting the morning walkers, in the playful dances of lorikeets, in the pink elegance of Major Mitchell's cockatoos, and in the determined digging of corellas. It is a spectacle that continues day after day, season after season, never needing tickets or schedules. In the City of Lights, it is not the skyscrapers or the bridges that truly shine. It is the parrots, the fearless citizens with wings, ruling both the skies and our hearts.